The U.S. marketing year is off to its full start now. We have some idea of what's happening from a corn perspective, and this year is much different than the past few years. Some of the things that we've seen that are key to going forward. First of all, the rate of exports. It's very slow. In fact, right now it's on pace to be one of the slowest years in the last 30 years. That's with the exception of 2012 and 1993, when you had supply constraints either from flood or drought. It's not very good to compare those particular years together, though, because they were supply constrained years that happened to be in an inverse market where the market was paying for corn to come right out of the field and go directly to the consumer. This year, on the other hand, we're in a carry market where the market is paying farmers and storage to keep that corn into later parts of the year. That's because we have about 1.8 billion bushels of corn that are expected to be sitting in stocks at the end of this year. So this slow export pace is a concern. Right now, it's on a pace that could actually drop us below 1.5 billion bushels. And that would put us at a very low rate, in fact, one of the slowest in the last 30 years. The countries that are having challenges with importing, a lot of them seem to be issues with exchange rate. Japan is much further behind than their normal pace. South American countries like Peru and Venezuela also behind in their pace. Japan not quite half, or a little more than half, maybe 2/3 of where they normally are this time of year. Venezuela, Peru, about half of where they are generally this time of year. And Korea also running a little bit behind pace of where they generally are, about half of their this time of year. Will this be resolved? One of the problems is U.S. exchange rates. While Japan has gone about back to 120 Japanese yen to U.S. dollars, which is pretty close to its pre-2007-2008 rates. Brazil has also had some very high climb. They're about 4 Brazilian real to a U.S. dollar, and that makes the product coming out of Brazil much less expensive for a lot of countries. The concern is that we will see some shifting of buying to other places. Over time, we believe that we will see a pickup in corn pace. We still believe that USDA is too high on their export expectations of over 1.6 billion bushels, and that we're likely to see eventually a 1.5 billion bushel export.